Greg Vanney. We'll start with the question here with Damian Calhoun, who has a mic. If you have a question,
All right, thanks.
Hey, Greg, first of all, can we sort of get your thoughts on how the game sort of played out there from the first half to second half? You guys almost had the goal, but at that time, the game sort of opened up for you there after the goal disallowed.
Yeah, it was, first half they came out a little bit different than we had anticipated in a 3-4-3, but kind of a pressing 3-4-3. So they opposed us pretty high and went for it. We anticipated something a little bit different. We knew it was a possibility. We anticipated. I think that led to a little bit of a sloppy first half sometimes, just in moments. But we had to settle in, organize some things. Second half, in the transition, we scored the goal that they decided to call back. But I think that just loosened up the game a little bit for everybody. That gave you the feeling that somebody can win this thing and somebody can lose this thing. So it changes, even though the ball hits the back of the net, it changes the emotion of things a little bit. And I think the game loosened up, which kind of happens in MLS anyways. The game starts to stretch a little bit, and then opportunities start to show up. So I'm really proud of our guys because we haven't got a ton of shutouts since I think our last one was in like June. And so to dig down, this is how you win playoff games. Sometimes they're not so fluid and they're not as perfect as you'd like them to be, and sometimes you have to dig and you have to find your opportunities and you have to defend at the end when the opposition throws a lot of things forward and really has nothing to lose at that point. So our guys dug in and protected the goal, saw the 1-0 out, and it's a huge one. The first one is always the toughest in the MLS playoffs, just to get that sensation. And we don't have a lot of guys who've played MLS playoff games on our team, and so a lot of guys got some experience tonight that will be useful as we push forward.
Did you get a view of the play that they called the goal back on? Do you have a feel for that yet, or do you need to watch that?
I saw briefly just from the sideline because we have a running feed, so we're able to see it. My challenge in all of it is those plays happen 20 times, 15 times over the course of the game, 50-50 on whether they call them, but this time they choose to call it and bring it back off of a transition. So you live with it when, I guess, what I'm glad is that we won the game, we stayed in it, and we kept going. It didn't affect us too much. We kept finding ways to attack, and we got the goal we needed.
It's kind of nice that Julian, who was called for the foul, gets the goal.
Yeah, I mean, he one of the things we talked about at half was trying to get Julian into more of an attacking position, whether that be wide or if Douglas stayed wide to get him inside a little bit more. And Douglas was wide, so he kept venturing inside and found himself at the back post. That's how far he ventured to the middle. So, I would say it was not necessarily how you draw it up, but it worked its way into a good opportunity with Douglas and Sam working together. Got Sam to the end line. And he puts in a decent ball, and Jules is in a spot that he probably doesn't often find himself in, that's for sure. So in that way, it's a bit not one you draw up on the training field, let's say that.
Greg, kind of a follow-up on what Scott just asked. Julian was the one called for the foul, whether it was a foul or not. He was the one that's why the goal wasn't counted. He came right back down and almost scored his own goal, with the shot, and then scored on the header. Do you think there was a little bit of something inside of him that said, I'm going to make up for this, I need to go down and get that goal back? It's
possible. I mean, you have to check with Jules. I think, like I said, it's a little unfortunate that the foul was called against him and brings it back. I don't think he could feel too much guilt for that situation because at the moment you don't know where that play is going to end up. But I do think just as something we were trying to organize more in the second half, and because Jules was in front of me, we just kept trying to get him into a little bit higher position, and he was able to be aggressive on those occasions. He was aggressive, and he found himself in really good positions to threaten the goal. And so I don't know if there's a psychological piece to it or not. I can't really say, but he certainly ended up in some good spots after that moment, that's for sure.
A couple of follow-ups. The players seemed to arrive all at the same time today. Did you guys stay in a hotel?
We did, yeah.
And why did you do that? And then the last question is the armband. When Chicha came off, it looked like it went from Ricky to Brugman to Sega. What does that say about the team where each guy says, no, I haven't been here long enough, I want this guy to have it? Where they're all sort of sharing it.
Yeah, again, I don't know. I would be curious, and I'll find out as to the reason it was passed from one guy to the next, but I thought it was almost a sign of each guy respecting the next guy a little bit more, and it ends up on Sega, who's a battler, who's been here since the beginning of last year. So I don't really know how it and why it ended up with Sega, but again, I think it shows how the group respects each other and just kept passing it down. And then Sega did it right at the end. So I don't remember the other one was hotel. Yeah, we stayed at a hotel. It was because it's an early game. It was an early game, and guys wanted to be together for a meal last night, and this morning we could organize everything so the players didn't have to figure out where's breakfast, how early do I need to be here. It's all set for them, and noon isn't a normal start for us, so it just kind of kept them from having to worry about anything, and we had it set up for them. So it was discussed between myself and some of the leadership guys, and they really wanted to do it. So I also appreciate they took the initiative too to want to be together as a group before a big game like this, which was great.
I know you talked a little bit about it defensively, how you guys kept a shutout, but what has Martin done to the back line? Because he seemed to have a very solid game for you guys today.
Yeah, that's what he is. He's a rock. He makes he makes a lot of good decisions over the course of the game, and sometimes those are just committing fouls in areas of the field that get people behind the ball. Sometimes it's just not trying to win a ball and staying and protecting the group and winning a little bit of time. There's just so many good, solid, professional center back types of decisions that don't put the team in difficult situations, and conversely, they take us out of things that could be difficult situations. And so he just brings such a nice composure back there, and I think it helps Sega. I think it helps everybody raw and everybody around him. And it's something I've talked about over the course of the season. Sometimes we take plays that look like nothing and we turn them into something for the opposition. And Martin's decisions make sure those things don't happen nearly as often as they did once upon a time. And so his stability and his experience, just his demeanor too, I think has just really helped the group to, again, make good, solid, better decisions, over the course of a game.
Hey, Greg, could I ask you to look ahead to Thursday? You played LAFC 3 times this year, but not since July. How different are these two teams meeting compared to their first meetings in the first portion of the season, and what do you expect?
Yeah, I mean, we'll dig into it a little bit more over the next couple days, but I mean, we've each had plenty of additions to our roster, important additions to our rosters since the last time we played. History will certainly play a part, just in terms of the psyche, but I think it's going to be a super competitive one. There won't be an inch on the field that anybody's willing to give away. I think both teams have gained some experience in their team since the last time we played, and have added pieces that make each of us better. So I like the way our team is playing. I think the leg up that our group has in some of these big games, and we're going to go there and play them straight up as we feel we can beat them.
Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
You guys, you've been in this position before with regards to a team that has rested, and it looked like Julian had a little cramp at the end, and just a few days before the game on Thursday. Can you talk us through a little bit about that conditioning and how you're going to handle the players in the next few days as they build up to this match against a team that's kind of been resting for 10 days?
Yeah, we'll do what we do after every game. We'll take the appropriate amount of days, and it's not the same for everybody to recover. We'll get our preparations underway. Tomorrow they'll be off, and then we'll start kind of our preparations. Preparation isn't always physical for us. Sometimes it's just some tactical things, some organizational things that we want to prepare leading into the game, and we don't necessarily need to get anything physical out of guys sometimes to get there. So they'll have plenty of time to recover. I think there's a reasonable window, unlike there used to be in the past. These games used to come even faster. I think there's a reasonable window for everybody to recover. The one thing that I like on our side is that we felt the intensity of the playoffs, and they've been off for however many days, 10, 12 days, whatever they're off. We've now got that experience under our belt right now, and we feel it. We have that tension in our bodies, and we're going to take that into the next game. We'll see how it plays out. Yeah, thank you.
Hey, Greg, toward the end of the game, you were sort of animated there as you guys were trying to kill the game out.
Slightly. I started sweating then. I was okay until then, yeah.
What do you want to see in those moments there? I mean,
No, it just, look, when we're seeing out a game, we don't want to lose the ball between our lines. If we're going to lose the ball, let's lose it behind their back line, and let's keep all 11 of our defenders between the ball and the goal, and let's make them break us down. And there's a couple times where I think we stop our momentum and we spin out, and we either try to play backwards or we lose the ball on our foot, and then the game comes at us right away where we have the opportunity to maybe dump it a little bit, to use a hockey term, dump it a little bit into the zone there and keep all of your defenders behind the ball, maybe press and keep it in. It's just, there was so little time left. The last thing you want to do is create a transition where 3 or 4 of your attacking defenders are left out of the game, and now they're coming at us. And so there was 2 or 3 moments where I felt like we exposed ourselves a little bit more than we needed to, and we just need to be more mindful of that.
Now we'll go with 2 questions on Zoom. The first one with Tom Boger. Tom, if you hear us, go ahead.
Yep. Thank you. Thanks, Greg, for taking the time. Is this the best soccer that this group is playing all season right now?
Do you have it for me? Hold on, Tom, we can't hear you. Go ahead.
You can hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Greg, thanks for taking the time. Is this the best soccer that this team is playing all season right now?
I don't know if tonight I would define as the best soccer, but in terms of just commitment, work, sticking to things, doing what we had to do tonight to get through the first in a very difficult playoff game, for sure. But I think as a whole, over this stretch of games, yes, I think the group is playing the best soccer it's played in the last 2 years. I think there's some consistency, there's continuity in the group. I think there's a composure now in the group. I think there's a lot of things where the group has settled in, has a much better sense of itself and how to be successful, but also just the consistency has been better over this stretch for sure, which is something that we lacked over the bit. So I think it's a group that is, again, even though we have some young guys, we also have some veteran guys. There's a nice mix of experience and youth inside of our team, and we're playing well, and we got to keep going. But for me, what's in the past is in the past. What's in front of us is everything to focus on now.
And then we have one final one from Dylan Butler. Dylan, go ahead.
Thanks. Greg, congratulations.
Thank you.
Just following up on Thursday, you'll be asked, obviously, about it a lot in the coming days, but the neutrals around the league, this is the matchup that they wanted to see, obviously, so much involving this game. Can you, I know it's not your focus, obviously, but can you appreciate on a macro level sort of how big of an occasion that this should be kind of league-wide, these 2 teams playing?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, look, as a guy who's been around this league since day one, I understand the gravity of a matchup like this. Also, I would say in Toronto, not at the same level, because in the U.S. we don't pay attention to Toronto and Montreal quite as much, but it was a huge rivalry there in the playoffs, and the emotion that gets behind a game like that is going to be now, I think, exponentially greater now that it's inside of the U.S., which is where the majority of the teams are, and the fan bases, and the proximity of these 2 teams is miles away, and so it should be exciting, interesting, and I'm sure the league and those around are over the moon that this has come to where it is.
Thanks for your time, Greg.
Yep, thank you. Oh, I will pass. I'm trying to get off of cupcakes.
We'll start here with Nikki K.
Jonathan, congratulations. This is just an overall question about the chemistry of this team. Greg told us that you guys wanted to have dinner together last night. You stayed together at a hotel, came together to the game. I'm guessing not all teams you've played on have been like that before. So what's special about this group of guys right now?
I think it's just a group of good people. Everyone recognizes that we're from kind of different areas around the world, speak different languages, but I think altogether we work, and there seems to be kind of a spirit that's grown, especially over the last 2 months or so, and we're kind of finding that at the right time now. And we're producing results and finding a bit of momentum when it matters most.
Thanks for your time. Greg also mentioned that not a lot of playoff experience in this group. A lot of you guys are still kind of new to MLS. Did it feel different? It did. Obviously, you were aware of what it was, but now that you're through that, does it help, or was it just another game?
It very much felt like just another game kind of going into it, and then when you get into it, it kind of, that jeopardy is always there, like one moment can change the game, and then suddenly you don't want to be the team that's chasing the game, and I think most of the time the team that scores first probably goes through in these games. But yeah, like you said, a lot of us are new to the league, and we kind of have to create that experience for ourselves so that going forward, looking into the future, we kind of build that playoff experience. But today was obviously a big moment for us that we came through against kind of a game-savvy team. They know how to get results, they know how to defend, they're good on set pieces, and I think they've been reasonably successful before in the playoffs. So yeah, it was a big moment for us, and I'm happy that we came through it.
Greg talked a little bit about not getting shutouts, or at least you guys haven't gotten a lot of shutouts lately. You do in a playoff game. And then can you maybe touch a little bit on just the atmosphere, what it was like in the stadium?
Yeah, I mean, we started the season with lots of shutouts and kind of felt like we were building momentum on that. But then we also weren't scoring a lot of goals, which is obviously not necessarily how we want to play. And then, yeah, like you said, recently we've kind of been in control of games, always going to win the game, but then not keeping a shutout or a clean sheet. So it's been a little bit frustrating, but we knew that if we kept a shutout in the playoff game, then we've got a very good chance of going through. Sorry, yeah, the atmosphere was amazing. Even actually the Salt Lake game at home was amazing, kind of gave us a feel of what it was going to be like today. It's not always easy to create a good atmosphere at 12 o'clock on a Saturday, so they all turned out in their numbers. They created the atmosphere we were hoping they would, and I actually felt like they carried us over the line at one point, in the second half, where Nashville were coming into the game and it was becoming a bit more even. I think first half we had a lot of possession, generally in control, but second half, yeah, it kind of, I don't know, something about it always felt like we were going to be the ones that were going to come out on top.
You mentioned jeopardy, and 8th minute, you kind of put yourself into some jeopardy.
Yeah.
What happened there? Can you talk about surviving that? And then they had many chances where they got into the box, but didn't necessarily get a great shot on.
Yeah, I think that's something I've done most of the season, looking to play balls through the lines. It was just that I kind of saw it a bit late, and I still wanted to try and play it into him. And once I'd made the decision, it was too late. I should have just pulled out of it, but I reacted well, obviously made the save, and then I kind of felt like, yeah, every time they went forward, our kind of last line of defence was pretty solid in the box. They got into some dangerous areas without creating clear-cut chances. Most of the shots on target that I had to save were pretty straightforward. So yeah, it was a good, solid defensive team effort, to be honest. And yeah, obviously we're all happy with the clean sheet.
And one of those shots was the early second half when Hani got a little space there on Sega. How did you see that sort of develop there?
Yeah, I think I can't remember how it came up to it, but they got slipped down the side, and Mukhtar was kind of one-on-one with me and Sega. Was it Sega or Martin? Can't remember. And yeah, I think he just pulled it kind of through his legs, and then I had like a trailing leg that kept it out. And yeah, sometimes those are big moments when you come out of the half time. Sometimes the intensity's down a bit, and just one moment, and suddenly bang, you can find yourself 1-0 down. So maybe something for us to talk about, but in general, there weren't many of those moments, to be honest.
And what has Martin brought to the back line? He's been starting, I think, maybe like the last 4 or 5 games here. What has he added to the group?
Yeah, he's obviously brings a wealth of experience. He's very steady, always in the right positions, reads the game really well, kind of knows when not to take a risk, or recognises when we're in a little bit of trouble. Yeah, he's been great. He doesn't speak much English, but it kind of hasn't really been an issue for any of us. So yeah, he's been obviously a great addition. And then obviously Derek coming on, seeing the game out today, and Sega's efforts over the last month or two have been massive. So yeah, everyone's got to be really pleased.
Hey Jonathan, congrats on the win. LAFC next. You've played in the El Tráfico games before. This is going to be totally different, very intense at their place. How much are you looking forward to it? These are the moments you kind of dream of as a player to be involved in.
Yeah, this is kind of the ideal playoff game, I guess, for the neutral. But yeah, we've actually had a good record against them the last few years, and they finally got a win against us at their place earlier in the season, but even that wasn't easy for them. We both know each other very well. We played each other 3 times last season, twice again this season. And yeah, we know it's going to be a bit of a hostile atmosphere. It's going to be an intense game. And I don't think it's anything that's going to surprise us or be too much for us, though, and hopefully we'll get another good performance and another good result.
Jonathan, following up on that, you haven't played LAFC since the first half of the season, since July, as you mentioned, 3 games before that. Obviously, you guys have changed quite a lot, but so have they. You know, do you look back on those 3 games? Do they matter, or is this game completely separate from anything that you would have experienced so far this season?
If we played them more recently, they would matter. But like you said, a lot has changed in that time. We've had a few new additions. We play in a slightly different way, and we found some momentum that we didn't have at the start of the season. And like you said, they've added a few additions which have been interesting, and they've had to adapt to kind of fit that in. And it's very much 2 different teams than at the start of the season. So we'll speak about it with Greg and the coaching staff, what to expect, what kind of game to expect. But generally, their principles stay the same. They're high pressing, high energy, play on the transition. So yeah, we know each other pretty well.
We'll take 2 questions from Zoom. So we'll go with Tom Boger. Tom, go ahead.
Thanks for taking the time, Jonathan. You guys just, mentioned it was your first clean sheet in a couple months or 10 or 12 games, and the team has been playing pretty comprehensive in the last few games, got losing. So is this the best soccer that this team is playing all season over the trip?
Yeah, I think so. I think we have genuine control of games. A lot of that obviously comes from the midfield. A lot of that comes from the midfield and the quality we have in there. It allows us to ride moments in games where either it's going really well for us or it's not going so well for us. Either emotions are up or they're down. To have that consistency of kind of technique and awareness in midfield allows us to control a lot of the games, and it prevents transitions, which were a big danger against us. But I'm forgetting the question, sorry, slightly, but yeah, I think we're controlling games better now than we ever did, and it probably has to be the best football we've played all season, yeah.
And then we'll take one final one with Dylan Butler. Go ahead, Dylan.
Hey, John, congratulations on victory. Just following up on LAFC, is there an advantage, you think, to this that you played, or you guys collectively have played, that game there, they're rested, and kind of a part 2 to that? Just, you mentioned the atmosphere here at your place, what do you think it's going to be like there in the match?
Yeah, I was thinking about this the other day. Obviously you get the bye week, which is advantageous, but then you haven't played for 2 weeks. I know their last result wasn't what they were hoping, and yeah, we come off of it, okay, less recovery time, but with confidence and momentum from already playing a playoff game. So we've kind of got this one under our belt. We've experienced it, and hopefully that will work in our favour. But yeah, we know that both, whenever the 2 teams play each other, either at our place or their place, the atmospheres are always good. So we've always been really good about bringing away fans to the stadium there, which kind of adds another level to it. But yeah, I think the atmosphere is going to be amazing, obviously, but we have to kind of just focus on our game.
Thanks for your time, Bondi.
Thank you, guys. See ya.
Thank you for your time. You guys spent the night at the hotel last night. Did you like that? Did that help? And this is your first playoff game. Did it feel different? Are you glad to get that on your belt, or was it just kind of another game?
I prefer to talk about the game, and the game was, I mean, it is what it is. So we need to adapt ourselves. Whatever the MLS says at any time, if they want us to play 7 a.m., we will play 7 a.m., you know? So it's like, it's fine for me. I think it was a very good match, you know, very close as well. The other one with Red Bull against Cincinnati too, you know. And that's the level of playoffs, you know. That's the level of playoffs, and I think it was a great match. And yeah, thankfully we get the victory.
You scored a very nice goal, and then it went away. Did you get a chance to see the foul on it?
I saw it, and I think it's too soft, and I think the VAR needs to go with more decisive plays. You cannot do that, because if not, every game is going to be stopped by the end. We've been through that probably they made a foul to me and someone else scored, and against us, they don't check it, you know, it's like, I don't know. I always said it that for the league to improve and to get into the level that we all want, we need to work as a team, all of us, and the referees needs to level up too, because we're doing our part. We're trying to level up. We're trying to let them do the game by themselves. They're humans like us. They do mistakes, of course, but with VAR, you cannot do that. You know, I think you never see that in the Premier League or in La Liga and stuff, like a very soft foul like that, and I don't think it's even a foul, you know? They complain a lot that I dive and stuff, but you can see that play. It's too soft, you know that, and they know the play, and we just love to come here and say that they do mistakes too, like we do. You know, when I come here and I did the Panenka, I came here and I say that I did a mistake. What is the problem with that? You know, so it's fine. That's what we need to be, more accountable, and we all need to level up, and we all need to be thinking for the benefit of the league from our end. You know, and I think that's it. Thankfully, I'm not here telling you that we lost, because that you will understand, you know. Thankfully, the result was in our favor, and that play in the end, it wasn't more transcendent that it really could have been, you know. So yeah, we're happy that we won, and that play can just be in the past.
Well, and you guys come back, you scored 10 minutes later,
Yep.
but there seemed to be maybe a little bit of rise of intensity after that call, because everyone is not happy.
I don't know if it was exactly like that. The only thing in our minds was game is still 0-0. We are not home, and we need to keep trying to score a goal. You know, that's what we did. I don't think it was a change from that. We just maintained it, and we were very mature to say, hey, we still 0-0, 0-0, and we need to get one goal if we want to get through.
Hey, Javier. Just want to get your thoughts on Julian. You've been around him, 3 seasons now. How have you seen him sort of grow and develop as a person and a player?
A lot, man, a lot. He's a massive, talented player, and you can see he's 21 and he has 100 games. He's fighting for a spot to go to the World Cup, and then he's the starter from the LA Galaxy. You know, all of that, facts and circumstances make him to develop and make him to be on that standard, you know, because now from Julian you need to expect a very first team right back like performances, not only because of the goal. You've seen the way that he defend, the way that he went in front, crosses and everything. I think he's maturing a lot, and thankfully he has something that I've seen around the world when people had this humbleness and acceptance that you don't know everything and you don't want to live from your talent only. That's when players we all grew and we all grow and we all achieve a lot of things. And I think Julian has that, but as well, you know, he did a game winner. We were talking in the dressing room. A header, we were laughing a little bit because I told him that I saw his face when he was heading. He closed the eyes and stuff. We were just trash talking him a little bit, but we were saying that it was about time that he did one chance like that, and he got that, and he scored, you know, and it was very important. And yeah, he's maturing in the same way as Efra, as you can see that he came up. His work rate is being improving so much, and we know, and he knows he's one of the most talented young players that I ever seen, but it's not enough, man. It's not enough to be a first starter for any first club division in any world. You need to have a work rate very high, and as well an IQ very high, and as well those then if you do all of that, the mistakes are allowed for you to improve, you know?
If you don't mind me asking an individual question, what was it like wearing those hand-painted Puma boots? Because
well, what?
What was it like wearing those hand-painted Puma boots?
Cool, very cool. I just changed them in the halftime, honestly, because it was wet, the grass, and it was getting out of the paint. So I said, let me change them because I want to save them. You know, I use them. I wore them in my first playoff game. My granddad is there. The names of my kids are the ones that they're getting a little bit disappearing because they have more contact with the ball in that part. So at halftime, I just say, no, I want to save them for myself and for my family, and I wear the other ones. But yeah, I said it in the week that it was a very nice gesture from Puma to do that, and I'm very grateful for that, you know. And yeah, I've been working with Puma not a long time ago, and we are doing very good the things, and we are taking our value very, very good.
Hi, Javier. Congratulations on the victory.
Thank you.
Just wanted to know your thoughts. This was the first home playoff game since 2016. Just how'd you think, as team captain, the team did to close this game out in the atmosphere today? And if you can describe what it was like, to, I guess, in this atmosphere.
The atmosphere was unbelievable. Was wonderful. I think in most of the games, our supporters have been doing their part. You know, they come here, support us, and they expect LA Galaxy to be in the levels that they're used to, you know, because that's what winning fan base are used to be winning most part of the time, and it's normal. But I think they've been doing pretty good, because in the games that we probably didn't play as good as we wanted, or the results didn't come, for example, like last season and today, they stuck with us, they support us, because I always said that a good supporter is not the only one who clap you. A good supporter is when things are not going well, and they support you and they want you to improve. They cheer you up in those moments, because for clapping, everyone will clap and it's like celebrating goals. But when the goals are not coming, or you are drawing, where you are losing, there's when the fans shows the most. So I think our fan base are being phenomenal this season and last one in the ones that I've been here, because of course my first season I just played an away game and I didn't play here, and then COVID and etc. So yeah, I mean, it's just gratefulness towards them, because they've been supporting us pretty good, and yeah, and hopefully if in the results tomorrow and the day after, and then we go and we win on Thursday, we can have a home advantage in the conference final. You never know. So yeah, we'll see.
Javier, you brought up Thursday, so get your impressions on that. First, I'm sure the atmosphere, you expect it to be up a level or two. Yeah. But how well positioned is your club right now to go up to Banc of California Stadium and win this match?
It's still too soon to think about our neighbors. You know, I'm just like 10 minutes ago, we had a very difficult game against Nashville, and you know, with the MVP that it's Hani, and yeah, with one of the best center backs of the country that is Walker. So yeah, it was a very tough match. We just want to enjoy that. I said it as well in the interview that I did in the field, that yeah, of course today we're going to celebrate, we're going to enjoy this, but since tomorrow, even though we have a day off, tomorrow we need to start recovering, and now we need to start thinking about our plan to face our neighbors, you know. But right now, man, I'm just like still even feeling the adrenaline of the game, and my first playoff game with my fans, and yeah, we get through. So it's, yeah, I'm just there. Sorry.
Javier, congratulations on the win. Firstly, how much fun was that game to play in? Because it looked intense as well, and lots of fans on the edge of their seats.
I'm surprised about your question, because that's something that I will love to speak about. It fun, exactly. Like when you find the fun and the joy in intensity, in uncertainty, in places when it's tough, because I always said competition is when you know you can lose. That's when competition is. Because then if you know you can beat every single team, that's not called competition, because you already know you're going to face them, you're going to beat them and stuff. So competing, the sensation of competing is like you know you have chances to lose as the same of winning. So it's amazing. I did that phase because I'm very glad that someone from your side speak about fun, because sometimes people think to listen to you like you cannot have fun, you know, you need to be relentless, you need to be like serious and stuff, and sometimes you need to enjoy like that. Of course, there are different joys. Of course, you can ask Nashville and they probably enjoy, but not that much because they're off of the playoffs, you know. But yeah, I had a lot of fun because, I mean, you work the whole preseason, the whole year, to be in these scenarios, and then when you have the opportunity, you just need to live the moment, to give everything, and then let the universe, let the sport to speak by itself. You know, like we were talking about, that decision in the referee is part of the game. We won, it's part of the game, and then if it was like vice versa, we will hear and probably will be more upset and a little more quiet because I will be angry or sad. But yeah, right now I'm very happy, I'm very glad, I enjoy it a lot, and I enjoy it every single time, like being in those spots with this family and this organization. I feel I have a lot in trust of them since the owners and with the coaching staff, the people who work over here, my teammates, even the players that they were in the crowd, in the stands. Yeah, the family, the organization feeling has been tremendous. It's been very like important for us, and yeah, thankfully the results are coming.
Chicharito, felicidades.
Gracias.
Pues, ¿cómo pensaste, bueno, en qué llegó ¿En qué llegaste a pensar, perdón, se me tengo un poco la voz
No te
perdida.
preocupes.
¿En qué llegaste a pensar al momento de que te anulan el gol y qué conversación tuviste con Julián? Porque sentimos que quizás se sintió un poco culpable por la jugada que se pierde.
No, para nada, él sabía que no era falta, y él me lo dijo, no es falta, después vimos la jugada y desde mi punto de vista no es una falta que se tiene que regresar para pitar, no lo es.
Y finalmente, ¿cómo pues, el ambiente, además de que el equipo también viene creciendo, ¿no? en cuestión de fútbol, quizás es el momento adecuado para que el equipo encuentre el sistema de juego que están buscando durante el año?
A ver, yo creo que ya lo encontramos, yo creo que estamos haciendo las cosas muy bien, tampoco nos sentimos que ya hemos logrado, el trabajo todavía no está hecho, pero llevamos 13 partidos y los 13 partidos solo hemos obtenido una derrota, muchos empates y muchas victorias, creo que la consistencia ha estado ahí. Y bueno, hoy fue un resultado muy favorable para nosotros, pudimos mantener el 0 en nuestra casa, marcamos 2 goles, uno nos lo anularon, que desde mi punto de vista fue injusto, y pues nada, como se lo contesté ahorita en inglés, a partir de mañana ya empezaremos a pensar en nuestros vecinos, pero por lo pronto queremos disfrutar porque vencimos a un equipo dificilísimo con el MVP como lo es Hani desde mi punto de vista, y pues nada, ya a partir de mañana pensaremos en nuestros vecinos.
Javier, felicidades.
Gracias.
Ya lo mencionaste en inglés, en español, ¿este horario les gustó, les afectó o se hicieron incómodos? Yo sé que es para los dos, pero...
Yo llevo toda mi vida jugando en Inglaterra, si te fijas hay un horario los sábados, no sé si sigue ahí los horarios, a la 1 de la tarde, la verdad que yo lo dije, si nos ponen a jugar a las 6 de la mañana, jugaremos a las 6 de la mañana, está fuera de nuestro alcance. Si a mí me preguntas cuál es mi horario favorito, para mí son las noches. Yo he crecido viendo, a mí me tocó muy poco ver a las Chivas jugando el domingo a las 12 y yo después crecí toda mi infancia viendo cuando llegó Jorge Vergara, en paz descanse, que cambió el horario el sábado a las 7, yo me acostumbré ahí, yo debuté así, jugamos finales ahí, quedamos campeones, etcétera. Entonces a mí me encantan los partidos de noche, pero como jugador de fútbol, a ver, es como si me dijeras, ¿qué prefieres? ¿Que se juegue lloviendo o se juegue con sol? Pues no está en nuestras manos. No, si llueve, si sale el sol, si relampaguea y se puede jugar, si de lo que sea nos tenemos que acostumbrar, nos tenemos que adaptar y darlo todo y ser muy agradecidos porque estamos haciendo lo que más amamos, estamos en unas circunstancias privilegiadas que también no la hemos ganado con mucho trabajo como lo son los playoffs.
Y finalmente, tu impresión de ser finalista de mejor jugador más valioso de la MLS.
A ver, yo desde mi punto de vista, Hani se lo debería de llevar por lo que hizo en su club, pero siempre muy agradecido con toda esta organización, con toda esta gente, con mi familia, con mis compañeros, con mi cuerpo técnico, con todos, que sin ellos yo no lo hubiera podido lograr estar ahí en el cuarto lugar, pero yo siempre le he dicho que siempre cuando hay un jugador individual que está ahí, significa que también el trabajo grupal se hizo para que siempre las individualidades sobresalgan. Entonces, créeme lo que en eso es un logro más grupal que individual y si lo gano o no lo gano me da exactamente igual, yo lo que quiero es la 6ª estrella para esta institución.
Thanks for your time, Javi. All right.
Go home, bro.
Hey, Julian, thanks for your time.
Of course, thank you.
A couple of questions. After the foul, which may not have been a foul, but in any case, the goal came off the board and the foul was on you. Did you feel, because you came right down and almost scored a goal and then you did 10 minutes later, did you feel a need to make up for that or did you feel like you wanted to get that goal back?
No. I honestly didn't feel that I touched him, but yeah, I was just playing the game. We had a couple 10, 20 minutes left in the game, and I knew we needed a goal to advance to the next round. We wanted to win, and with the subs coming in, we had a lot of energy, and I was in the box, and I seen the play develop, and went back post because I seen the defenders get. I think Chicha brought him out, and I just went back post and was hoping that Sam chipped it back post.
And today was I know you were on the playoff team before, but today was your first playoff game. A lot of your teammates' first playoff game. You guys stayed in a hotel. You played at noon. Did it feel different? All this weird stuff, you guys never stay in a hotel for a home game, and then playing at noon, did it feel different, or was it just another game?
Yeah, it definitely felt different. It's a playoff game, and it was going to be a different mentality for both teams. We knew we were going to have to come out here, and every play mattered. We woke up. It was different in the fact that we had to stay at a hotel, especially playing at home. But it was all good to have everybody together, have dinner together, have breakfast together, and be ready and all on the same mission.
Can you talk a little bit about the atmosphere in the playoffs, just the stadium? And then you took a chance by going inside and sort of being on that back post, and I think Greg said it, and maybe even Javi said it a little bit. It's not a place you'd normally find yourself.
No.
Just take us through that goal a little bit, too.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, I gave a pass to, I think it was Marky or Douglas, and I knew they were going to create like a triangle there. You know, sometimes if I go up, Marky's always going to cover me. So I seen Douglas on the ball, and I seen Sam on the outside of him, and I knew he was going to give him the overlapping ball. And Sam went to the end line, tipped the back post, and I was just hoping to get in front of the right outside back for Nashville, and I got in front, and, you know, I just positioned my body to hit it across from the goalkeeper.
And the atmosphere?
Oh, the atmosphere was it was amazing, you know, to hear them for 90 minutes. They kept us going even through times where we needed a goal. First half, you know, we created a lot of chances. You know, they had a couple chances, but you know, the fans kept us going. They were very energetic, and we're going to keep going for them.
Greg said that he's been looking to get you maybe to go inside a little bit. That's one of the strategic things he's looking to do. Can you talk about looking for those opportunities and finding it?
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, he definitely does. When Douglas is out wide, he wants me to take Douglas's spot inside and try to get to the end line, take a defender out to the end line so that Douglas can come inside. You know, and during that play of the goal, I seen Douglas with one-on-one, and then was it Sam? Yeah, Sam overlapped him, and I just tried taking Sam's spot, and hopefully if it didn't go well, Sam was going to recover for me.
Also, can you talk a little bit about the defensive effort today? They certainly put you guys under a lot of pressure. Didn't create a lot of chances where the ball was, you know, scarily close to going into the net.
Yeah, their front three is you know, they're good players, world-class players. They can create, they can finish if we give them the chance. Today, as a collective group, we stood our ground. We moved together. We dropped when we needed to. You know, we didn't allow them a lot of space. You know, Mukhtar, whenever he's on the ball, we tried putting pressure on him as fast as we could to not let him create anything, and I think we did that very well today.
Julian, if I could ask you to look ahead to Thursday. Obviously, you guys won this game. You advanced. Now you play the conference semifinals against LAFC. They are a team that creates a lot of chances. What do you expect in terms of the challenge that you face? And then you know the atmosphere in a regular El Tráfico, if there's such a thing, but now the playoff El Tráfico. You know, what's your expectation for that?
Yeah, I'm expecting another, you know, El Tráfico. It's going to be a good one for both teams. You know, we all know what it means. Our fans know what it means. Their fans, they know what it means, and we're going to try to go over there. You know, it's going to be tough to go to their stadium, but we have our fans, we have ourselves. You know, we're gonna have each other's back. We're gonna go out there, play our game, not really listen to anything outside. You know, we're gonna stay focused, enjoy today, and start preparing tomorrow for them.
Hey, Julian, you guys got your first clean sheet since late July. Just kind of how impactful have Martin Cáceres and that pairing with Sega Coulibaly, how impactful was that today? I mean, they did a good job against the Nashville Strikers, but what's it like working with them and being able to be a unit in the back?
Yeah, you know, they're veterans. They're guys that, you know, they're animals. They're very physically, they talk a lot. They give a lot of confidence to us. You know, they let us know when we have pressure, when we don't. Martin is a very good communicator. He's a leader. He loves to win. He's an animal, and you know, with both of them back there, I think, we for sure have two of the best center backs in the league.
Hey, Julian, congrats on the winning.
Thank you.
How does it make you feel for scoring the goal for your team today, a game-changing goal?
I feel very happy. You know, all my life I've been waiting for moments like these. You know, to put myself in, or to be in a position to win a trophy. Now that we're here, you know, we got through the first round. Now focus on the second round. I'm glad that I got the goal, but most importantly, I'm glad that we're moving on to the next round, and we're going to play against LAFC, and it's going to be a very good game.
Hey, Julian, so this was your first goal with fans in the crowd, but before 2020, how many goals? You know how many goals you had?
One.
No, before that. Before.
Oh, no, none.
You don't know?
No.
Were you like a goal scorer going up in the academy or anything?
I think I scored one goal in academy here. Yeah. And it's actually a header.
Oh,
it was against RSL. Yeah.
Okay.
How about in Santa Barbara? Santa Barbara, yeah, I was a goal scorer. It's different.
You remember how many goals you had then, or?
I don't know. I was like the Chicharito. Nah, I'm just kidding. Nah, I had a couple.
Thanks for your time, Jules.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.